1960 saw a new pro football team appear on New York City's horizon. The Titans were a charter member of the American Football League. And although they had a great receiver in Art Powell and the legendary Sammy Baugh as head coach, the team's most dominant personality was eccentric owner Harry Wismer, who had earned fame as a broadcaster.
Hello, football fans. It's kickoff time for National Pro Highlights. And this is your Pro Highlights quarterback, Harry Wismer.
Wismer never lost his announcer's flair for embellishment, as evidenced by his penchant for inflating the meager attendance figures at the Polo Grounds. Once after Wismer announced that 25,000 fans had attended a Titans game, a sports writer observed that half of them must have come disguised as empty seats. By 1962, Wismer lost his grip on a team that verged on bankruptcy. The Jets were about to take wing. Getting the Jets off the ground was a job that would require commitment and proven leadership. In 1963, Weeb Ewbank, who 5 years earlier had led the Baltimore Colts to a world championship, was named head coach of the revamped franchise. Titans standouts such as linebacker Larry Grantham, receiver Don Maynard, and running back Bill Mathis were blended with talented newcomers like Matt Snell, who in 1964 chose the Jets over the Giants and became the first #1 draft choice to sign with the AFL's New York entry. During his first 6 seasons, this rampaging rhino of a runner led the Jets in rushing 5 times. The team had a new fullback and a new home. Now all the Jets needed was a player with superstar potential. In 1965, they got one.
White 63! White 63! Q!
The eyes of New York were drawn to a magnetic quarterback named Joe Willie Namath, who earned Rookie of the Year honors for 1965. Then just kept getting better. In 1967, he became the first quarterback in pro football history to pass for over 4,000 yards in a single season. Namath was abundantly talented and refreshingly brash.
I don't know where anybody else's head is. I don't know what kind of game they call. I feel that I've made very few mental errors in professional football over the last few years. I feel I can throw as well or better than anybody. And I think mentally, throwing the football, well, I feel confident I can play better than anybody that's ever played the position.
Namath brought sex appeal to pro football, and his reputation for playing night games off the field earned him the tag Broadway Joe.
He may have been out on Saturday night, you know, who knows? We had curfews, but who knows for sure whether he was there. But when he came in on Sunday, he was all business. Namath was a very dedicated football player. He was a very smart quarterback, and I think that was Joe's biggest asset. He was also a tremendous leader.
All right, 75 double choice. Flanker, Argo, out in K, go on 2.
When Joe came up, I just told him, I said, I think we can be a real good team. I said, I'll help make you a better quarterback, and you make me a real good receiver.
Don Maynard's greatness can be gauged by his career reception and yardage totals, and the number of defenders he left in the dust. Maynard and number 83, George Sauer Jr., comprised one of the most devastating receiving tandems of all time. Halfback Emerson Boozer, number 32, was another talented pass catcher, and as a ball carrier, he displayed a spinning top style that counterpointed the brute power of Matt Snell. In addition to their formidable offense, the Jets also fielded an imposing defense. Number 81, Jerry Philbin, John Elliott, and Verlin Biggs, number 86, were three of the best defensive linemen in the business. In 1968, Biggs and Elliott combined for 22 sacks, while Philbin added 19 more. 1968 also saw linebacker Ralph Baker, number 51, anchor pro football's best rushing defense. Number 62, Al Atkinson, was another linebacker who made his presence felt. The highly skilled and vastly entertaining 1968 Jets hosted Oakland in the AFL Championship game, where Namath and Maynard sparked a come-from-behind victory. When Maynard shook free from the Raiders' George Atkinson, he caught his second touchdown pass of the game. The Jets went on to earn a 27-23 win and a berth in Super Bowl III against heavily favored Baltimore.
I felt we could go out there and hold our own, and actually we was going to get them. We just, we were that confident. I don't like to use the word cocky by any means. I just think we were complete confidence in what we did, and regardless who we were playing.
Oh, come on! Get dirty, Cole! Get dirty, Doc!
The Jets had been tabbed as 17.5-point underdogs, but their defense forced 5 turnovers, while game MVP Joe Namath confounded the Colts with a short passing game that set up 3 Jim Turner field goals. Matt Snell rushed for 121 yards and a touchdown in a stunning 16-7 win. The AFL had its first Super Bowl victory, courtesy of the world champion New York Jets. The Jets had conquered the heart of a city that loves its heroes. But they would discover that the only thing tougher than reaching the top is staying there. The 1969 Jets returned to the AFL playoffs, but on a bitter winter day, a 13-6 loss to Kansas City crushed hopes of returning to the Super Bowl. A decade of disappointment was about to begin. In 1970, Joe Namath's broken wrist prevented the Jets from seizing success. A busted knee kept Namath sidelined during 1971. But Namath and the Jets regained their footing in 1972. Against Johnny Unitas and the Colts in the season's second week, Namath met the challenge posed by a legendary and still resourceful old signal caller. Broadway Joe responded by erasing 2 Baltimore leads, and on just 15 completions, he threw for 496 yards, a total that at that time was the second highest in NFL history. Namath would finish the season as the league leader in passing yardage. His 6 scoring passes on this day ignited a 44-34 win that recalled Super Bowl glory. A year later, the man who made the attainment of that glory possible retired as head coach.
Get points on the board, Joe! Points on the board, Joe! Watch a play action on the first play. Play action on first play. I'll tell you if it's a pass. I'll tell you if it's a pass. Be ready, Fergie. I'll tell you if it's a pass. Pass. Bob. He's standing in front of him better. If he goes inside, just take him inside, boy. Just drive him on down. Beg pardon. Well, I like 7, too, but it takes 2 touchdowns to lick us. We get the 3 back.
Weeb Ewbank was destined for the Hall of Fame, and one of his greatest achievements was guiding the Jets through their first baby steps, then helping them ascend pro football's highest pinnacle. Under Charlie Winner, the Jets made 1974 a memorable campaign. Joe Namath's fourth-quarter bootleg against the Giants in the Yale Bowl sent this mid-season contest into overtime. Then, with nearly 7 minutes gone in the extra stanza, Namath hit Emerson Boozer for a touchdown that provided a 26-20 win. The Jets followed this first regular season victory over their local rivals by beating 5 other opponents in succession to close out the year. In 1975, Namath threw 28 touchdown passes to equal his career high, proving that his marvelous arm remained in fashion, although the Jets' uniforms and helmets would soon undergo a change in style. And just as the mode of headgear evolved, so too did the styles of the heads inside. One of the unique heads to fill a Jets helmet belonged to John Riggins, who looked like he belonged more in Soho than at Shea. But the man with the mohawk went on the warpath every time he carried the football. In 1975, Riggins became the only Jet to ever rush for 1,000 yards in a season. But his most productive year was also his last with the Jets, as he went to Washington in 1976. That same year also marked the end of Joe Namath's career in New York. As a trend-setting passer and personality, Namath brought the Jets into the limelight, and he will forever be remembered as one of the most glamorous figures to ever play pro football. 1976 was a grim season indeed. Lou Holtz failed to produce a winner and was succeeded as head coach in 1977 by Walt Michaels, who, along with the club's new management, patiently devised a formula that would bring winning football back to New York. It was not long before the Jets began spelling trouble for opponents once again. From top to bottom, the team had been rebuilt, as a number of outstanding draft choices provided Walt Michaels with the nucleus of a playoff-caliber squad. By 1981, New York boasted talented young players who were capable of losing their heads in a frenzy of youthful enthusiasm. But this determined young squad also knew how to maintain its poise, as evidenced by a come-from-behind victory against Miami in Week 12.
Come on, New York! Don't give up, New York! Get tough, New York!
These fans are on their feet. 21 seconds remaining as Todd is back to pass. He's looking into the end zone.
Jets
With this win, the Jets grabbed a share of first place in the AFC East. Then in their final contest of the regular season, they clinched a playoff berth with a 28-3 victory over Green Bay. The New York Sack Exchange registered 9 sacks, and the rest was easy.
Todd rolls to the right, back to pass. He is throwing deep for Lamb. He has it at the 50. Down by touchdown.
The 13-year playoff drought had ended.
Can't believe it. After all those years of just finishing out the season, to finally know the season's over and you got at least one more game.
Despite a huge deficit in the wild card playoff game, the Jets waged a furious comeback that set the stage for a dramatic, though ultimately heartbreaking conclusion.
There is nobody in this ballpark who is seated. They are all standing. They are watching the conclusion of one of the most exciting ball games I have ever seen. The Jets trail 31-27, 10 seconds remaining. The season riding right here. Third in the season. Todd looks toward the end zone to Gaffney, but the ball is intercepted. The season is over. The Buffalo Bills, Bill Simpson, has intercepted at the 2-yard line. It's going to end here.
The Jets returned to postseason play in 1982. At Cincinnati, number 24, Freeman McNeil paced a 44-17 romp with relentless running and razzle-dazzle.
Todd hands it off to McNeil, right side. He throws the option pass. Gaffney alone, touchdown! Touchdown, New York Jets! Talk about a wrinkle! Here's McNeil, right side. Turns inside the 15, the 10, the 5. He's got a touchdown! Freeman McNeil goes the right side, follows blockers, and gets into the end zone untouched. A 20-yard run.
Then, against the Raiders, the Jets fought hard to preserve a come-from-behind victory.
Come on, get it! Get it! Come on! Get it! Yeah! Go! Go, Jerry! Get back! Yeah! That's it, man! What a great hit.
4:59 remaining, 14-10 LA. McNeil the lone setback. Todd drops back to pass. He's looking deep for Wesley. A step on the defender. He's got it at the 2 and rolls it in the end zone. It's going to be ruled out at the 1-yard line. Todd gives to Scotty, right side. Touchdown! Touchdown, New York Jets! Scott Berkey gets into the end zone. Plunkett back to pass. He pumps, fires over the middle. Craig Smith intercepts at the 25. He's at the 30. Craig Smith comes up with a second interception here in the fourth quarter. The Jets have the ball back. They can run the clock out. The Raiders do not have any timeouts remaining, and the Jets appear on their way to the AFC Championship.
Though the Jets lost the AFC Championship game, 1983 held promise as offensive coordinator Joe Walton became head coach. The season featured personal achievements, such as offensive tackle Marvin Powell's 5th consecutive Pro Bowl selection. Freeman McNeil led the team in rushing, despite missing 7 games due to injury. Number 42, Bruce Harper, was lost for half the season, but when healthy, Harper averaged nearly 7 yards per carry. Wesley Walker, number 85, enjoyed one of his finest campaigns with a career-high 61 receptions. Number 80, Lamb Jones, grabbed a personal best 43 passes while averaging over 17 yards per catch. Despite a 7-9 record, the Jets' defensive front line maintained consistency throughout the season. Number 93, Marty Lyons, provided tenacity and leadership. And Joe Klecko, number 73, rebounded from a knee injury to earn Pro Bowl honors. Number 99, Mark Gastineau, further defined the terms of entrapment that shook up opponents. The All-Pro end's 19 sacks represented a league high in 1983. Return specialist Kurt Springs, number 21, led the AFC in average yards per return. Springs' performance suggests that he will play an important role in the Jets' future, as will talented young linebacker Bob Crable, number 50. Linebacker Lance Mell, number 56, led the team in tackles and interceptions and was named the Jets' most valuable player. While injuries and narrow defeats made 1983 a frustrating year, the Jets are essentially the same team that made the playoffs in 2 of the past 3 seasons. They possess the potential to make their 25th anniversary an occasion to remember. As the Jets celebrate this landmark, it is worth recalling the way they were, for these memories of the past provide a goal for the future. The Jets' legacy includes golden moments, great players, and their unforgettable accomplishments. And it also includes the mistakes that are an inevitable part of growing up. Their past is behind them, but it is still a vital part of their identity. And as they turn 25, the New York Jets are hopefully approaching the best years of their life.